Okay, hello you guys, and how have you been doing? And I hope that your life is getting well. So today is like the April and 8th in 2022. I would like to share a little bit about my life because it's been a while that I haven't really updated any informations or posted any video. Basically, because like in 2020, my life was and still extremely busy every day, every single day. And I have a lot of things to do, but I will just share a little bit and update a little bit to myself for me to review back in the future. So the first thing I think the big decision is that I decided to take another college degree in computer science. So the reason that I decided to take another degree is that I feel like I kind of really have a passion for programming or the computer related stuff. And I feel like when I started learning about something of computer science, I think that I really have a logical and analytical mind to analyze the information. And also I feel really interesting when I work with it. And I think I did not really consider about changing my current job into something new into the computer science or something like that. But I expect that in the future that I may have the abilities and also like can do some kind of like project for myself and also like may be able to travel a little bit to different aspects of the world and do a little bit here and there. And I think this is really a great tool to communicate with other people in the future as well because like internet nowadays really developed. Okay, so and it's in the college and I started my first term in the end of January and I finished my first term just like 2 weeks ago and I got all A's for my courses and I'm really proud of myself. The interesting about learning a college and online from the US is like I think I started learning new thing because like when I had a college in Vietnam, everything it was really not really like self-driven learning. It's more like uh, one-way communication for the teacher to the student. But when I started learning something from the US, and I feel like I really started learning how to do the work by myself, how to be responsible for my own education. Everything is so self-determined, and I feel it is so great, so red inside because like I can do it. And this is also the method that I'm really passionate about since I was like in high school when I decided to learn things by myself by choosing the teacher I want to learn or to choosing the subject that I feel interested in to learn. It's the first thing. And the second thing is that I'm also busy with my life because beside college, I also joined another IT course. The IT course is like currently I'm learning about Java. Java is like the programming language. So I also like feel really interested in like programming as well. And it's like learning a new language, especially like uh a computer language. I think it's really interesting. It's just like how you interact with a computer, but anyway, still at the end of the day, it will be about how you're gonna interact with other people, with other humans, and how you're gonna interact with other people, maybe via or from the computer or something like that in the future as well. And also, I would like to be like in the future, if I do have like the spiritual center for myself, I would like to automate a lot of things in my life because I feel like I do not really want to repeat every single things and really manually. I would like to automate and do something really automatically. So I think it's my goal for now and also for the future. So the second thing I would like to say is that okay, maybe probably I will be able to visit my hometown for the next month. So actually I'm planning because like I haven't got my vaccination. Basically I decided not to take vaccination because I think I'm okay with the COVID and everything going crazy in the world. And one thing I also kind of like strongly believe is that we are sick only when we are suppressed, or when we are stressed, or when we are depressed by some kind of situation or something like that. And so, and after 2 years, I think it's almost like 2 years right now, and now I will be able to be visiting my home country without any quarantine and something like that. I think it's just really amazing, and I'm planning to be back to my hometown a little bit for from 1 to 2 months, from I think probably from June or July, and maybe like I with my family would travel a little bit like around Vietnam or something like that, because like my parents are also really excited to welcome me back and also travel with me like when I am back to Vietnam. And maybe afterward I back to Japan and also like continue my work. And the interesting is that, like since starting the COVID, it started something new, is that I am able to work from home completely. So working from home is like, it's like a new working style, and it's really give me a lot of comfort. And a lot of people like do not really be around you, and you have to be responsible for your own work. You have to be responsible for own tasks and responsibilities, and it also comes with a lot of duties and tests. But as long as I can complete it, I can have either some kind of free time for me to really like learn something, anything else, and also develop myself. But the drawbacks, there is also the drawback, is that I almost like stay in my home almost all the time. The reason is that I do not like, like this is my 4th year in Japan, and I do not really have, like there is something we call like foreigner vibe. I do not really have any foreigner vibe right now. I feel like I'm live here, I'm here, and I'm almost a part of the society. So I do not really feel I have to travel here and there. I just travel just for eating or restaurant or something like that in the weekend. But other than that, I do not really travel much in the country. And sometimes it's a little bit like frustrating to be at home all the times and do not really do anything much, but at least that I still have something to do. And the third thing I would like to update is like also about spirituality. I still continue with my grade and my spirituality, but I skip the training part for a while, a little bit. And actually I'm thinking of how to really move forward with this one, because like currently, because in next term I just like select one subject, one course for my college. So I'm thinking like maybe I will try to read a little bit and try to make my like spiritual training is more like a course in the college, and trying to make like the learning journal every week or something like that. I think this could be a kind of like effective way to really manage how I broadcast my spirituality training. And I think it's maybe the good way for me to really like how could I say, develop myself as well in the future, and also train my skills in the future as well. And anything else, talking a little bit more about Japan and how my life is currently in Japan is, I think it's pretty standard. Comparing to the first year I came here, it is less chaotic. It's like there's not really like aha moment, or not really like a lot of like extremely happy moment, but instead like life is pretty standard right now. I kind of like get used to with everything. I also know a little bit Japanese, not really fluent, but at least like livable Japanese language, so I could communicate with some other people and also like use language as my work as well. It's not really to the point that I can really professional using the language, but I still be able to really like communicate pretty effectively in the daily life conversations or something like that, and I think it's pretty adequate. But the thing is that the more I live in Japan, and especially in Kyoto, like Kyoto is pretty like the old city and with a lot of old people, and I realized maybe I haven't really like, actually the first year when I was in Japan, I felt Japan home. But until now, my 4th year here in Japan, I feel like I haven't really feel there's a place that fit my characteristic. Because like I'm a little more extrovert in general, I have to say, like even though I hope I'm a little bit like really relaxed or something like that, but when I get out of my room or something like that, but I become a really extrovert and active person. And I also would like to support the freedoms in the speech and in the way we express ourselves and something like that as well. So I would like also to really find a place that I could really express all those things in the future as well by moving maybe to another place or to another country or something like that in the future. Okay. And sometimes I also think of like in the past, like when I was in high school, I did not really think about moving to a foreign country to work or to study or to live or something like that. But the benefit of moving to another country is that you realize that you can be on yourself. You can be independent, independent person. You could live on your own, and especially in a developed country, I think the salary is pretty adequate and enough for you to really live on your own and be responsible for your life. About some aspects, I don't know whether you have sometimes you have a feeling of insecurity about life in terms of physical stuff or assets. I mean, the material stuff that you own in your life. Actually, I sometimes also have some kind of feeling because I do not really have much saving, and sometimes I feel a little bit insecure because like I don't know like whether how about like, in the future or something like that, when first of all, like I mean analytically it's mean like it's up to the point that you need to have a saving and you need to have a specific thing to really, how could I say, survive or something like that in the long term or something like that, I think. But right now I do not really save a lot. I save a little bit, but not really, cannot save a lot because like I pay almost for a lot of things in my life. And I'm thinking about how to improve my salary, but it's also at the same time how to get a things that I can balance a lot of things, like I want to have time as well, because like my current job really give me time, really give me something that I really want to pursue it in spirituality, in college, a time to read, a time to relax, and really pretty much comfortable. I'm comfortable like space around space, to really enjoy life, being myself and do not really like suppressed by a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I also feel like maybe I need to step out a little bit and try something new and get more randomity in my life and try to do a little bit things. Okay, the next update is about the concept of helping. I have to say, like recently, I started trying to think about the concept of how to help other people more. Especially like in my college. I realized one thing that I really like good at college and I know how to study, I know how to do the good assignments, I know how to solve a problem decently. And I realized one thing that when I share the knowledge to other people feel appreciated with it and they will give me the good grade because of the value that I put out to them, not only to answer the test, but it's also about the value that I put out to other students and whether they will learn something from my assignment, from my writing or something like that. And those other things really make me feel happy inside. Next, moving to the next part, I think is like 28. Actually, I'm moving to 27. Actually, sorry. I was born in 1995 and currently like I'm 27. 3 years more I will be like 30, in my 30. Like I don't know, like do you have a feeling like you stop growing at a certain age? I myself feel like now, even though that my physical age is like 27, but I do not really feel I am that much old. I think like I'm still like the kid at 18 with some kind of responsibility in my life. You know, when I look at the people at the same age, they are in a relationship or they get married, or even some of them have kids. I feel like, oh my gosh, how could they handle all those kind of responsibility in their life? Why, when looking into at myself, I feel like I'm still like a kid. It's just like a 18. I'm not really like fully developed. I mean, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to really like get into the stage like that. I don't know. Do you have a same feeling? But I myself feel like that, and I don't like. Sometimes I question myself: is that because you know, when I was a little kid in primary school, secondary school, high school, other people consider me to be a little bit like old comparing to my age. But when I grow old to my age, I feel like I become a child. It's hard to say. Even though I know, like, okay, spiritually, we do not really have age. It's all about like how we choose to present our age to other people, for sure. But from the inside, from my heart, I have to say, like, I still feel like I'm a kid. Yeah, and also do not really want to feel or put myself to grow into a new field that I'm not ready for yet. Yeah, I still want to maintain a energetic, curious guy and always feel like happy, like beginning of life, kind of something like that. So I think it's all for all the updates for current term, for the current moment, and it's been a while, and I hope that you also are doing well with your life. And if your life is not going well, I think it's gonna be fine. And I'm also kind of like, I don't know, when I started making the video a little bit and thinking about future a little bit, I'm starting thinking about some goals. So sometimes like there was a period when I started moving to Japan for 2 or 3 years or something, that there was a period I didn't really think about any further goal. But when making this video, I'm thinking about further goal in the future, maybe moving to some places or something like that to challenge myself a little more in the new field, or take a new role or something like that. It could be challenging, fun, and exciting. I would like to do something exciting, and it's make me feel like life worthwhile, you know. And it's all, and hope that you also feel good in the long run, and be confident and be yourself. I think the most important thing is like to be your true self. I think like right now I'm more learning about realizing myself, being my true self more, and get a lot out of being myself. The freedom that I have, the independence. Yeah. See ya.